Welcome back to the fourth part of the free website course. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now completed three parts of the course. I hope that you have gone through all of them. The first was the homepage of the startup site. The second was about the mobile optimization of the startup site. And the third was actually the about us section or about us template, the complete landing page, right? And now we're going to create this complete lander for the contact us option, right? So this is how this complete landing page is going to look, right? And I'm going to build it from scratch and mobile optimize it in front of you. I hope that you are liking it. Thank you so much for showering amazing comments, liking our videos. We truly appreciate what you're doing, and we're soon going to do something amazing to acknowledge your efforts and acknowledge your support, right? So let's get started and let's get this funnel going. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is, as of now, you've already seen that we've completed homepage and about page. So now we're going to create one more page that is going to be contact us page, right? So I mean, you can do it the easy way or the hard way. I'm doing it the hard way. The best way could have been, I'll just show it to you, is to duplicate the entire about section because you've already worked hard on it. And I'll just show it to you how the about us page looked like. The about us page look like this because we can actually grab a lot of elements when it comes to the header section, or we also call as the navigation section, right? And then we can also grab this our offices because you'll also see our offices here, right? So we might not have to do a lot of labor in this. So this is going to be more of cut paste and how you can swiftly navigate and get your things going. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pritam. I run a Go High Level Web Design Agency, and in this video, let's get crushing it. Okay. The first things first, let's just click on these three dots as you can see on the page, right? And then click on clone, right? When you click on clone, it's going to ask you where exactly do you want to clone it, right? You can give them the account, and then you can also give them to the websites and everything, right? But I don't want to do all of that because I want to clone this in this website section itself. So I'm just going to click on clone page in this website, right? And this is going to clone the entire thing, right? And after that, we're going to have to change a few things, which mean basically is the naming, the path, and everything. Okay. So as you can see, it says about clone. We basically want it to say contact us or contact, right? Instead of that. So let me just go ahead, proceed, and go to the settings part. When you go to the settings part, you can see here it says about clone. So what you're going to do is we just want to write contact us. Okay, or contact is also fine. So we'll keep the path as contact to make it simple, and we click on update page. Now what that's going to do is that's going to change the name of the page and also the path of the page. So whenever you open the new page, it's going to have that kind of path, which I've just said. Now I'm going to click on this drop down arrow and then edit in a new tab. Okay. By the way, all the important links, if you have not yet signed up for Go High Level, please make sure that you go through my link because I'm going to come up with an amazing offer, right? And once you already signed up, you're going through it, you're paying for the Go High Level, just reach out to me and I'll be sending you all the free resources there, right? For now, let's proceed forward to doing this. And we have already, cloned it, and we are now inside the editor. Let's give it some time for it to load. Cool. So we have got the website editor loaded properly. Now we do not need a lot of things here because we just want to copy things from here. I'm also going to show you how to create this form and make it seamless on your website as it looks. So yeah, let's proceed further, right? We do not need this page basically, which is the contact us page we created earlier. So we'll just get rid of that. Now I'm going to keep this section, which is the navigation section as it is because I don't want to change anything here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete all the other sections which I do not need absolutely, right? You just don't need it. Just click on the delete option and it's gone. Okay. We definitely need this section of our offices. So let's proceed forward and do the contact us. I'll also show you how to create this half and half effect, but you can see it has a different color of white and this kind of yellowish color. And the elements here, which is basically the columns of form and this button section, it is in half and half on both this colored background. Okay. I'm going to show you that without writing any single line of code. right? So first of all, you're going to take a new section, right? We always take section in full width. I hope you remember that. So once you have that full width section, now if you can see here, if you are my student and if you have been following the three courses videos that I have just published, you know that what you need to do here, right? You basically need to create a one row, three column structure and then add all of these. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a one row, three column structure. And in the first column, of course, this is going to be the details of the text, right? Once we add up the text, then we're going to add all those other pointers as well. Just make sure that you are taking care of the sizing because that's super important. You might not think that's very important, but eventually you will realize that it is. And that's probably going to be one of the reason why your site won't look the way it should look. Okay. Is because of fonts, font sizing, font weightage, and all of that. Right. As of now, we do not have the option to have weightage, but I hope that they are already working on it and this should come out soon. So yeah, that's going to be super cool if they do, and I hope that they will, hopefully very soon. Right. Now this comes as email address and phone number. How do you create these kind of beautiful sections? It is very simple. I just want to click on add element, and in this add element, I'm going to search something called as, I forgot, image slider. Right. Oops. Just click on image feature basically. Okay. So image feature is there. Um, then I want to write email address in here, and then I'm going to write the email in here. Oops. So what just happened is I copied the email and I copied the entire text and pasted it. So now this actually became a link. So when I click on this, it's going to redirect me to that email, which you do not want. So I'm just patiently going to click on this, delete it, and then add it. And since this has already become a link, I just want to make sure that I'll keep it as a link because that's important, because whenever you click on this, it's going to create a pop-up for the email and it's going to connect the email on your laptop or your desktop. So I want to keep it that way. Instead, I just want to have a grayish color to it just to make it look good. That's it, right? Just want to make sure that I have all the fonts correct, which is going to be an 18 in this end. Um, how much do I have for this? I have 24, which is way above than it's supposed to be. Cool. I think we're already there. We definitely want to make sure that these are all bold just to make it look beautiful. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. And then we want to have this icon, but let me just grab and add that color first of all. The color is like the light yellowish color, right? And then I want to take this element, which is the image feature, and I want to add a background color to it. This is going to be, of course, white. I'm going to go to advanced section, and then um, I'm going to uh, click on, hold on, an effect. Image radius is already round corners, image shadow, image effect. Okay, I think this is fine. Yep, okay. So I don't think I'm going to change anything here because they are not giving me the options. This was good. I mean, if they provided me an option to create or create a border, I don't think we have border option in this, right? Okay, I think that's perfectly fine because we can use other things which like columns and everything. So let's proceed forward and click on the column section and then make it white. Okay. Now we have the option to make have a border because border is what is going to control its radius. So I'm going to keep it as 1. I'm going to make it transparent. And then I'm going to have the image border radius, which is, let's say I'm going to give it 4, a maximum of 5, and I'm going to make sure it is all edges. Now what that's going to do is that's going to basically give it an edge with the border radius. I'm going to add a bit of effect to it so that you can just understand it. Like, see, this is how it looks, and it already makes it look a bit 3D structure. At the same time, you will be able to see that it is a bit sleek and it has a beautiful border to it in terms of border radius. So I just like it. I just like the way it is. I also want to make sure that there are no spaces around it. So if there are, I just want to reduce them to 0, which I can already find it. I want to make all of them to 0. Same goes for this. The reason why I am making everything, I'm implementing everything on the first page, on the first element itself, is because I can again duplicate things in order to make it easy. I, as a developer and a designer, want my life to be easy as anything, right? Uh, I don't want things to be complicated when I'm thinking of too much of things. So, uh, making it simple and knowing what you want to do and how you want to do it is the way to go, guys, right? At first, you might be confused, but then you will find your way. Okay, cool. Now we have this email setting thing also, which also makes it look beautiful. Okay, so now literally we have everything that we need to. This also has some spacing, so make sure that we are getting rid of all the spacing because, as I told you, the column's height is the height space that it's going to take. So the columns basically work as if the highest column or the lengthiest, the longest column, right, with the maximum height, other columns are going to follow the same height pattern. Okay, so if I just keep adding things here, then what will happen is the other columns will also increase in size because they will match the highest column available. Okay, so I do not want any of the columns to be very high because that's going to impact the way these address and phone sections look, which I do not want it. Okay, because I want them to squeeze up a bit here. So I think we're good here. So there's no problem much. I think it's all good. I'm just going to duplicate things here. Okay. So since as I'm duplicating it, I just repeated everything without having the issue of creating, separate CSS, separate again styling, coloring, none of that hassle. Okay. Then you need to add phone number. Once phone number is added, make sure you add these numbers and make sure that once you take this, you delete this, and then you add this. Okay, otherwise the phone number will get added to that link. So don't do that. Okay, so now as guys can see that we have beautifully added this exact method there. I just want to make sure that I change the color of the icon as well. So I'm going to just add the icon of the phone, which I mean according to me just looks beautiful. Just look at it, like they look absolutely stunning, by the way. But yeah, then we have one more section where we have this line. As you can see there, this is a divider. So we just want to add a divider. The way to add a divider is very simple. Go to elements and then go to the bottom. You will be able to see a divider. Exactly. Yeah, here you go. There is a divider there. We did not add it. Cool. So that's the divider. We want to make sure that we have less spacing between the divider and these elements. So I just want to cram that up a bit. Cool. I think we are good to go. We also need some spacing on the top. Okay, probably I made this 0, but this should have been 20, and this instead the bottom should have been 0. So let's add 40 on the addition as well. Okay. Now we are good. Now we also want the bottom to have a lot of space because we want these elements like the forms, all of this should also come on the top, right? So I think we need a lot more space than this. So we're just going to add 100 pixel on their own, which is fine. Now I'm going to add a white section. This white section is basically going to represent this form and this element as well. So I'm going to create a 2-column row. The first column row, of course, is going to be of this color. So we're going to add this color as background color. So as you can see, I've already added this color as a background color. I'm going to add a 20 pixel of margining on the left hand side to make sure that this has some spacing from the other column, right? I'm also going to go to the advanced section, create a full border, and then I'm going to make sure that it is 1 pixel of the same color with a border radius of 15. I think that should be good. Or we can just make it 10 to make it a bit sharper. Okay. Now it has 4 elements in it. First is an image, as you can see, right? Second is this headline. Third is the subheadline, and fourth is this button. Okay. Nothing very hard to create, but you just have to make sure that you follow what I'm saying. We add an image, right? The image is probably, let's make it, let's turn off the optimization because we do not optimize with Go High Level. We optimize on our own because we have seen this Go High Level, making the photo a bit jittery. We don't want that at all. But we will do our own due diligence and make sure that they are already optimized by compressing them as much as we can, right? That's the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing it as well. Okay, cool. I also want to add here 20, 40. I think 40 is good. Okay, whatever the padding is from the the border or the corner or the left hand side, you need to make sure that you maintain that same padding on all the elements. All the elements basically mean, as you can see here, this is actually on a complete line, and you want that on all the elements. Okay, so you're going to proceed forward, and you're going to add an heading. So once I add the heading, I'm also going to go here. Cool. I just want to make sure that this is not black because we can't see it. Okay, that's good. But the padding here again needs to be 40. Perfect. Again, just to check, the font is 32, and we also have 32. Yes, we do. We will then add one more, just a line, subhead line, something like that. I'll just copy this. You already have it, so why? When you have something, you just copy it and you just duplicate it. That's all. Now again, make sure that you have a padding of 40 because we are making it 40 all across the entire structure. We also want to have some padding to it, right? Let's make it like 20. I hope that's not a lot, but yeah, 20 is fine. So let's just make all of them 20. And then you also have one button. Okay, you don't need to create a button, you just duplicate this button and then you add it here. So drag this, you add it here. Okay. Now come to the left hand side here and then just add 20 pixels. Okay, one more thing here that you will be able to understand is buttons do not have margins because if you write padding into it and let's say you make it 200, then it doesn't add padding externally, it actually adds internally the border, which is not going to work, ladies and gentlemen, here, right? So the entire method of us making it in one line, the entire process failed. So we cannot do something like this. What we can do is we can select the entire column and then internally probably, right, add column spacing to it. Okay. So now we just want to make sure that this is back to 0, which is a bit embarrassing because we're not supposed to do it, but I think that's perfectly fine. You need to understand the builder. The more you understand it, the better you will be able to make decisions. And the better you will make decisions, the better you are going to, you speed up the entire process. As simple as that. Um, so yeah, that's the way to go. Cool. I just want to make sure that I go to advanced section and I want to make this fill width. Right. I think it looks pretty good. Just make sure this is like this only. Cool. I think it looks the way it should have. Now what we want to do is, okay, I think this looks perfectly fine. Now, what I want to do is I want to add an element to it, which is going to be a form. And I'm going to create them form for you guys. Okay. So we have a lot of forms, but we're not going to do is we're going to create the form from scratch. So let's just save what we did as of now. So this is saving, guys. Let's go back. So you are now again in the side section. You will be able to see the forms on the top, right, in the top navigation bar, just beside client portal. You're going to click on the form builder. So once you click on the form builder, you will be presented with all the forms that you already had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this as, Consult Pro form. I'm going to start from scratch, of course. Cool. So it's going to load. So as of now, we have already saved this entire session. I think this looks pretty good and pretty nice. We just want to make sure that we have something similar to this. Okay, so this is called form 6. No, this is going to be called as consult pro form, right? Um, Okay. So as you might have already seen my form video, that how to create forms, how to create, manually create everything in detail, basically, right? So this, just to give you a quick recap, this is when you click on this plus section, it gives you all the quick add, which basically means that they have custom made, right? We also have something called as payments, which just came in recently, which I would say a new feature altogether. It's amazing, but this is not working at the time. But you have to turn this on if you haven't. Okay. Um, Submit button is there. Okay. And then you have something called as custom fields. You can use custom fields if you want. If I've not created custom fields, then I'll show it to you how to create one. Right. You can also use conditional logic here. So for example, you can redirect people, right? You can display custom message. You can disqualify people. You can show and hide people and hide fields, basically, right? That also was covered into my custom form video, right? And then on the right hand side here, you will see preview. You can integrate the form with code, and then this style and option is what is the magic here with all the CSS and everything. Okay, first of all, we're going to make this inline, right? Uh, we're going to have full name, email. So let's delete this. Let's go to the quick add. Okay, we want to add a full name here, right? Already have the button. So you can see here this payment here also you can add, which is going to add the payment section, right? You can even this opens the gate for you to take or donations as well, or payments that is undefined, which basically means there are multiple webinar sessions online and offline. Online basically whether you have to make a payment, right, or a purchase or a transaction. In that case, let's say the amount is not defined and the speaker says that, hey, join in and then you can pay whatever you want. You can pay a dollar or $10 or $100 or $1,000, depending on whatever you think the worth is, right? So you can also take donations like that, which is undefined, which is what the user or the visitor is going to determine instead of the person who has built the entire structure, right? Okay, cool. What we need here is we need full name, email, phone number. So we already have that. I also want to have one more thing, guys, which is called as message, because when you have contact section for, let's say, companies and all of that, you want to have message because people who are reaching out to you might want to ask you a few questions, and if you do not or want to explain why they are reaching out to you, if they do not have it, you will not be able to get the context on it. But if you just realize that in the quick add section we do not have something called as message, and that is not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to create one. We're going to go to the custom fields, and then we're going to go to add custom fields. So when you click on add custom fields, I want a text input of multiple lines. Okay, so this is how the preview is going to look like. I'm going to go next, and then field name is going to be message, text, contact message box, contact message box. Okay, select a group, which is general info. I think we all placeholders. No, I think that's okay. Okay, so you can see on the top and the bottom right hand side, it says file field added successfully. Let's proceed forward and see that here also you'll be able to see that contact message box has appeared. So basically, we're just going to drag that down. Okay, I think that's pretty much it on how you want your email to look like. But as you can see, this is very different than what it looks like. Okay, it has round corners, it has this kind of borders and all of that. The border here is a bit different. So we are going to play it very nicely so that this merges with our editing box. Okay. So first things first, we're going to go to, first we're going to make it mandatory, right? We do not have this mandatory. I want to make it required. I want to make the message also required in case they want to type something, which I want them to type. Okay. I think that's pretty good. We're going to go to styles and options, right? Input style is boxes, lines. The box is fine. Background is white. It's fine. right? Corner radius, as you can see here, this is like 3. Let's say what happens when you make it 100, 1000. No, we don't want it anyway. Padding is there. Okay, cool, cool. Field style, super important. Here, if we change this to 200, okay, cool. I think we already got what we wanted, which is that we have made it a bit wider, right? But we also want to have some padding to it, so we're gonna make like 14 to it. So basically, adding 14 pixels, or let's, I'm just going to show you, adding 100 pixels is going to add 100 pixels on top of the middle of this thing, which basically means adding 100 pixel extra to the width of the or height of the field here. Okay, so you just want to restrict it to, let's say, 14. 14 is fine, and the bottom also 14. Okay, I think this looks pretty nice. The button here does not look that great. It should be red, right? So I don't know where the button is, but let me just find out as we are recording this video. Okay, yeah. So it has its own settings, which is fine. This is going to be button. It says button, but I should say submit, SUBMIT, submit. And I don't want it really full width. So I want it to be like, on the left hand side. Okay, I want this to be on the reddish color. So I'm just going to grab that color, which is this. So I grab this color here. I'm going to paste the hex code and I'm going to get that. Cool. What else do we need? We need borders. Of course, we need borders. We need 100 borders. Okay, no, not borders. Let's say border is 1 is fine. And we will again make it the same color. Fine. And then border type, dash, dotted, solid, right, full width, no. Padding, we will make it, let's say, 13, right, bottom 13, right, left 50, we will make it like 70. Okay, we will also make this 70. Corner radius, something is there, so we're gonna make it 100. Right. Also we want to make it like left aligned. You can see alignment on the top. So if you have aligned, we have submit and everything is there. What else do we need? Do we need anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything shadow is there? Probably we can do something like this. Our spread is going to be, let's say, 4. Yeah, I think this looks nice. This looks nice. This version looks nice. What else? What else? No, I think we are good to go, guys. I think we are good to go. Okay. One thing that I do not want here is I do not want this shadow. Can you see the shadow here? This form is on a structure and it has the shadows. I don't want it because I want the shadow of the form of the column. I don't want it on the form itself because then it's going to be double shadow of the form and then on the builder, which I do not want it. So I'm just going to click on style option again. I'm going to find that shadow. Okay. Form styling, backgrounds on it. There should be somewhere where it's going to say shadow. Okay, let me find that again. Form background is white. Of course, you make it red, it's not going to look good. So that is where that is fine. Right. Okay, this is probably the shadow. Yeah. You can see here the shadow here is right. Just make it 0 and we are good to go. Okay. Also make these 0. The thing on the shadows should be there. Just make the complete thing 0. Now what happened here is this thing is also now on black on a white structure, but there is no shadow. So that's actually good. Now, if we just preview this, you will be able to see. You'll not be able to find out the background because the background with the shadow is gone. See, you cannot see it, right? And you can write text in here and all of that, and you can also expand this, and you can do a bunch of other activities also. And this looks good. The button looks nice, right? So everything looks good. So now we're just going to save this. By the way, you can also click on integrate and then you can use the embed code the way they gave it and then you can apply it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this section now. I'm just going to make sure that I have refresh the entire site, and then I'm going to add this. Or probably I just can check one CP form. Let me check. Do we have CP form here? We don't have any forms. Okay, let me add that again. Here you go. CP forms is where to have it. Okay, now you see that this looks much better. Let me see if this is what it's asking. Okay, cool. Now what you want to do is, if you go here, you'll be able to see the padding and all of that. Now you want to have border, full border, 1 pixel. Let's keep it white. Border radius, let's say 20. So border radius is 20. Then go to general and then go to add some shadows to it, right? Add some real shadows to it. Now look at it. Now this looks what we originally wanted, right? And it looks so nice, so professional. So then click on this entire column. Okay, come on the margin section. You can see the margin here. Now write minus 200. Okay. Now, is it looking nice? Probably we can stretch it a bit, but we want some spacing here. So we're going to write minus 150. And then we're going to go here and then make it minus 300 or 340. Oops, 340 I believe is too much. So let's change that. Awesome. I think this looks absolutely best. But I also want to make sure that this has a background of white so that we do not have this kind of a different effect. Cool. Let me just preview it and show it to you this section, which is super important. This is how, ladies and gentlemen, you need to achieve in order to create this half and half effect at the same time. A lot of people ask me, why do I have these multiple layers and multiple shadows and all of that? The reason for this is because you're taking shadows from the funnel builder, you're taking shadows from the form builder, and then you're merging things up, which you shouldn't do normally, right? So that's probably the reason why this is happening. Okay, cool. Since just previewing, what else do we have left with? We are left with this section is already copied. We need to create this FAQ section, and boom, you just have to make sure that it's mobile optimized. Awesome, guys. So we just got the preview link, and here, as you can see, we just added that message section, the phone number, the full name, email, agreement, submit button. Got it, right? It looks fantastic. We have this half and half effect. We have this beautiful icon. Everything just looks fantastic, right? Let's proceed forward to create the last section, which is going to be this pink color section. Again, this is not very hard. I hope that if you have already gone through this, if you've gone through my other videos, you will be able to do it. But again, I just want to show it to you. Okay, I want to grab that to the bottom to make sure that things are perfect. Okay, sometimes you need to save things up. Cool. We achieved that. Now we just want it to be 2 column row. One column needs to have FAQ section, which is here you go. FAQ again, if you know FAQ, you do not want to make it like this because if you do, then you will not be able to have some spacing around it, which is what I'm looking for. So let's say I want to have a spacing of 60. Oh, 60, I think 60 is too much. Let's say 20 is fine. Then I want to duplicate this and duplicate this, and I'm going to create a 3 section like this with so much of space in it, right? And that's what I'm probably trying to achieve. Here, as you can see, this comes under with this kind of borders and everything, and this is pretty easy to do. Once select the column, you make sure that the border that the it's filled up with white color, and then you need to go to advanced section and again add borders to it. Okay, so borders here, 1 pixels. Okay, white, um, and then make it 15 pixels, and then you also need to add the background. Okay, sorry, box shadow 20 pixel, right? That's how you achieve this section, this color as well. So now FAQs, We just want to copy this to make sure that we are getting what we want. Cool. We have our office, so we just add FAQs in here. We want to make sure that this is left aligned completely. And then we have this frequently asked question as headline, which is what we're just going to copy it, add it, copy it, add it, FAQ. I just had a comment when somebody says it's lovely to see you navigate through the clunky builder so smoothly. I can understand when you say it's clunky. That's majorly because you have not experienced this, you know, over a long period of time, and I understand that. Uh, but trust me, if you just use it on a daily basis, it's going to be easier for you, right? And then you don't want to really like go to any other builder. Like we are a web design agency, right? So we can build funnels and websites in any other platform. But since we're just doing on go high level for such a very long time, with so many custom design projects, right? We literally start everything from scratch. We do not use templates and all of that shitty things. So it just it's just natural to us. Like I can build funnels on even when I'm sleeping, so that's just how it is. So if you want to be good at it, but just keep doing it. The more you do it, the better you're going to get to it. That's simple. We're gonna add the last view section also. Again, it has some side padding, so I just want to make sure that the side padding is neutralized, because we want to have side padding to this column because I want to make sure that this looks separated, and then it also has that red color in it which it deserves, right? And then some spacing around it will be also nice. Um, no, we will have padding, right? We're gonna have padding on this, and it's going to be, let's say, 80, like that. Okay, now this looks good. So we almost got done with the entire landing page or the contact us landing page, right? And now it's time to make it 100% mobile optimized, which we can do it in a very short period of time. Okay, so let's go to the mobile part here. As you can see, Go High Level has two options. One is desktop, one is mobile. So go to mobile part, right? Since you copied the entire website from the about us section, and we already made that to mobile optimized, so you already get the header section and literally everything which is already optimized, right? You just want to make sure that other things needs to be optimized. Okay, so here we have the forms and everything, right? Let's make all of those things optimized and we're good to go. Okay, you'll also have the belongings of the other page in here, and you want to make sure that you delete everything. All of those things should not stick to it, otherwise it's not going to look good at all. So just make sure you're deleting everything which belongs to the other page and not mean to be duplicated on this page, right? Um, so, see, super easy to delete them. It's so smooth and so satisfying just to delete things away because, you work on it and you work on very hard on it and just simply delete it. Right? Anyways, let's proceed forward. And the simple way of doing things, as you know, just duplicate things, copy things. Make one which is desktop optimized, one which is only mobile optimized. Right? You go to the mobile part, and then what you do here is you make everything center aligned. Okay, all of these are not center aligned, so make sure these are center aligned. And then okay, so just make sure. Okay, I need to find that column here because the column is super important. The column is what is going to give me space on the top. So do not make the column super zero, because if you do, which I did, and because I was not able to find where the column is because I'm not able to click on it. So I just got the element again and then added some space in there to get the column. Now you can add the space. You can see here, right? Same thing here. I cannot really touch the column. It's very hard to find the column because it's super zero. So just keep that in mind as well. Cool. I think the icon is way bigger than what we're expecting, but I don't think we have an option to do it. I think we do here. So let's make it like 50 or 60 is also fine. 60. We'll also make it 60. Right now, I think this looks good. On top of it, I think there is a lot of padding which I just added. So we'll just make it 0. Don't worry about it. Awesome. So if you see here now that we added this and just looks pretty nice. The form is also looks pretty nice, right? You have a submit button and all of that. You want to make sure that, okay, first of all, you're not duplicated this. So just keep in mind on the things you have duplicated and the things that you haven't duplicated, right? So that's going so that you do not mess things up. Because if you mess things up, then, it's just going to be wasting your time. So get the column here again, add some padding to it, right? Cool. I think this looks good. I think we do not have to change anything in there. What we have to change is about this part. So just add around 20 pixels of padding onto every section, onto every element, sorry. And then once you add, it will get aligned. So don't worry about it. Yeah, that's it. You can't do anything about the button because that's how it is on the mobile mode for now. And I think that's absolutely fine. You don't have to push everything to be, be the way you want because after all you're not editing it. Okay, sorry, I just had somebody ask for tutorials which I'm already recording, so yeah. Okay guys, let's get back to work. I think we did this beautifully. Everything looks perfect in the mobile mode. um okay, this is already mobile optimized, guys. As you know, we did all the hard work on the earlier page, so we are now free for, we don't have to do a lot of hard work in there. But yeah, you just have to know what you have to do because when you know things, you can do things. So I hope that this is how, let me just preview it and show it to you. So I hope that this entire course was very helpful for you guys. I'm just sharing all my lessons that I've learned over the past 6 years as a designer, marketer, builder. And then we have been with Go High Level for the last 3 years, and I hope that you enjoyed the entire course. This was like freaking in-depth course about Go High Level. I'm not sure if there's any other course in there like this on the internet, but yeah, again, thank you for so much of love and support. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that's how it looks. This is the original page in here, as you can see. And this is the page that we just created, and it looks freaking fantastic. Let me see how does it look when it comes to mobile mode, right? We are currently in 14 Pro Max, and in 14 Pro Max as well. This looks freaking amazing. It looks fantastic, guys. Good job. Okay, I'm just saying good job to myself, which is not good. But yeah, I hope that you liked it, guys. Thank you for so much for your love and support. Keep sharing this and loving this, and I'll see you on an amazing video next time. See you soon.